protection, have you applied for a patent?
We have applied for a patent with the help of a lawyer, but it will take a bit of a little while. But we're not actually rolling out with our products until after 6 months anyways.
You started to go into what your size of your market was.
Mm-hmm.
So you said 1% or 100% of the Canadian market at 368 trucks times 400. What was that figure?
I think it came to about 1.2 million.
Okay, at 1%. And that was for the Canadian market. And that was just for this 368,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 1.2 million?
I believe so.
That was just for the Canadian market for the used trucks that are out there. That's not the new trucks going in.
I'm
that's not
multiplying
the
by
American.
$400.
Oh, okay.
I have a general remarks, and it's relevant for all the presentation. I don't have much of visualizations here.
Mm-hmm.
It would be much easier for all of us to know what exactly we're talking about when we are dealing with the market pains and the device or service or solution itself.
Right. So this is just kind of a primary doodle of what the meter would look like on the dashboard for the driver. So it would be color coded as well, so you could see the needle tilting left or right depending on which way his trailer is tilting.
Be a buzzer, an alarm buzzer, or a flashing light? Or
Not at this point, but it'd be constantly on his dashboard. So as he's looking at his pedometer, you know, the one with the speedometer. That's it. That's why you're up here. I mean, it's on his dashboard, so.
Another thing that you can see repeatedly here, it's again not talking much about the market pain, not about the market cap, and not clear enough value propositions, and in the end, the projection itself, if you can get to $100 million value of company in 5 years from now, most of the VC wouldn't invest. So you end with 3.5, it's a no-go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A quick comment as well. I mean, I would have loved to see, this is my question I was going to say, is what features of your technology creates a functional competitive edge for the company in the market segment? And this is to everybody here, to make sure that you mention that powerfully within your 30 seconds commercial when you're opening up.
Why didn't the CEO present?
Why didn't he?
Yeah, he's not in class. Or...
He's not part of this class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was listening to Basil speak. He was deep, right?
Oh, okay.
But he's here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Usually the CEO presents, and if it's that's just
Not in our
situation.
class.
Yeah.
The CEO doesn't get graded in this class.
We all pull our share on the management team.
I've got a suggestion for you. I mean, there's lots of things obviously that I could say, but I guess what I wanted to give you a suggestion for the next time. We brought a product to market in the cartography space that the Departments of Transportation in the United States all standardized on, forcing their primes to buy it. The primes forced their contractors to buy it. We achieved 94% market share worldwide in 3 years. So you have the same opportunity here.
Right.
If you could make this a standard product, having the patent protection, license it or sell it, then that could be your go-to-market strategy. We want to make this a standard required legislative feature for vehicles. You could put some stats together as to why this should be, and then hire a lobbyist in the right place and give them lots of cash to grease the wheels that turn. You might, really get somewhere.
I should have mentioned that we do have the end goal of having Rose be our product as standard as airbags in cars. So.
Yeah, it's a lot more powerful than saying, well, we're going to go out there and try to do this.
Definitely.
When you just touch on it, the airbags, you should have used that comparison at the opening speech. Your pitch is powerful. You just mentioned it.
I think there's a value chain flaw here, and that would be that often the trailers are owned by somebody different than the truck. They pick them up from various things, and they have to be coordinated from one to the next. So you basically have to have every trailer to have this, the product.
And the standard interface.
And the standard interface with the truck, because very few trucks come with the trailer.
Right. I don't know if I have time to get into it, but it's in our business plan that we wouldn't be targeting people that drop off trailers, that don't actually own a trailer. We would only be targeting truck owners that own the cab and the trailer.
So then you would need to establish the market size, and then the cost to them for a rollover. I didn't see, you talked about it, but I didn't see what that number there. Just a practical point, in your board, advisory board, you've got a business advisory board, but you lack an industry advisory board. So I would look at, truck companies and various other things.
Right.
Like, if it's only going to be the truck and trailer, then you're looking right at the truck and trailer joint manufacturers. So it would be an interesting model. It's a real problem. It was decently done.
Good job.